Imagine standing on a steel platform in the middle of the ocean, with jet engines screaming just meters away, fire burning beneath aircraft wings, and thousands of tons of metal moving around you at full speed. One wrong step, one missed signal, 1 second of hesitation, and you are dead. No second chances, no dramatic rescue. This is not a battlefield and not a war zone. This is a normal working day on the flight deck of a U.S. aircraft carrier, where some of the most dangerous jobs on Earth are performed every single day. The flight deck of a U.S. aircraft carrier is a place where chaos is controlled by discipline. Jets take off and land every few seconds. Engines scream at full power. The deck shakes beneath their feet. The wind is violent. Temperatures rise from burning fuel and metal heated by the sun. At the same time, sailors move between aircraft with absolute precision, guiding pilots, attaching launch bars, securing landing cables, and signaling with hand gestures that must be perfect. There is no room for hesitation, no time to think twice. Each sailor on the flight deck wears a colored jersey, and these colors are not random. They define roles, responsibilities, and authority. Everyone knows exactly where they belong, because confusion on the flight deck is deadly. A single misunderstood signal can send an aircraft rolling forward, crushing anything in its path. One of the greatest dangers comes from jet engines. Modern fighter jets produce enormous suction. A person standing too close can be pulled into an engine in seconds. This has happened before. Sailors have been killed instantly, leaving nothing but shock and silence behind them. Because of this, every movement near an aircraft is calculated. Every step matters. Every signal matters. Another deadly threat is the catapult system. These machines launch aircraft from zero to takeoff speed in just a few seconds. The force involved is brutal. If something goes wrong, if a cable snaps or a mechanism fails, the results can be catastrophic. There have been incidents where metal parts were thrown across the deck like bullets, injuring or killing crew members without warning. Fire is an ever-present danger. Fuel spills, hydraulic fluid leaks, hot engines, explosives mounted under aircraft wings. A single spark can turn the flight deck into an inferno. Throughout history, aircraft carriers have suffered massive fires that killed dozens of sailors in minutes. Even today, despite modern safety systems, fire remains one of the greatest fears on board. When flames erupt, sailors do not run away. They run toward it, fully aware that explosions may follow. What most people never realize is that the danger does not end when jets stop flying. Even during quieter moments, the flight deck remains a hostile environment. Heavy equipment is constantly being moved. Aircraft weigh tens of tons and can shift unexpectedly. One wrong command can result in disaster. These accidents are rare, but when they happen, they are unforgiving. Noise is another invisible threat. Jet engines produce sound levels capable of causing permanent hearing damage within seconds. Sailors wear protective gear, but long-term exposure still takes its toll. Many veterans leave the Navy with serious hearing loss. Communication relies almost entirely on hand signals. You cannot shout over a jet engine. Everything must be seen and understood instantly. Night operations increase the danger even further. Artificial lighting distorts depth perception. Shadows hide hazards. Fatigue becomes heavier. Still, flight operations continue around the clock. Darkness does not stop missions. Weather does not stop missions. During storms, the deck becomes slippery. Waves crash over the bow, and the ship moves violently, throwing people and machines in unpredictable directions. Operations continue anyway. The mental pressure is relentless. Sailors work long shifts with little sleep. Fatigue builds quickly. One moment of lost focus can be fatal, not just for one person, but for everyone around them. Fear is always present. Anyone who says they are not afraid on the flight deck is lying. The difference is that fear is controlled. It is pushed aside by training and discipline. Training for flight deck crews is brutal. and constant. Sailors spend months learning procedures, signals, and emergency responses before ever stepping onto an operational carrier. Even then, training never stops. Fire drills, crash drills, emergency drills. The goal is simple. When something goes wrong, hesitation is not an option. Living conditions add another layer of stress. Sailors sleep in cramped spaces, stacked in bunks inches apart. Privacy does not exist. Days blur together. Weeks pass without seeing land. The flight deck becomes their entire world. Heat, noise, vibration, and exhaustion become normal. This environment changes people. Despite everything, there is pride. Working on the flight deck is considered one of the toughest roles in the Navy. It creates strong bonds because trust is not optional. You trust the person next to you with your life every single day. When accidents happen, the ship does not stop for long. The mission always comes first. This reality is harsh, but it is accepted. Aircraft carriers project power across the globe, but that power is built on human endurance, on people willing to stand inches away from jet engines, fire, and steel, trusting training over instinct. The flight deck is not just dangerous, it is unforgiving. It rewards precision and punishes mistakes without mercy. In the end, the most dangerous job on a U.S. aircraft carrier is not defined by explosions or dramatic moments. It is defined by repetition, by doing the same deadly task correctly thousands of times without slipping once. That is what makes it so lethal. And that is why those who do it earn a level of respect few others ever will. If you found this video interesting, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more stories from the hidden and dangerous side of military life.